Hello dear students. So today we are going to read lesson number 4, A Truly Beautiful Mind. So let's start. Before you read, who do you think of when you hear the word genius? Who do you think? When you hear the word genius, who do you think? Do you think about your teacher, your maths teacher, your ideal, or somebody else? Just like I think Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So, who do you think about a genius? Means who is genius according to you when this word comes in your mind? Who is a genius according to you? Who is a genius? Genius means a lot of definitions, means a lot of things comes in our mind. Means who is a genius? What qualities do you think a genius has? Different types of qualities: intelligent, honest, punctual, confident. So these are the qualities that maybe it will be in a genius person. Okay, we shall now read about a young German civil servant who took the world by storm about 100 years ago. So actually here we are going to read about a person who belonged to German, and he has changed something in science era. He has done something. Because of that only the science era has been changed totally. Okay, so what he has done, let's read. So it is talking about 100 years ago. In the summer of 1905, the 26-year-old published in quick succession 4 groundbreaking papers. So it is about 1905, it was in summer, and that time the news was published back to back it was published. And what was the news? What were the news? Let's see. That about the light, first about the light, second one is the motion of particles, okay, the electrodynamics of moving bodies, and energy. I think you students have studied these all 4 points in physics and chemistry. In physics you have studied, I hope so. So his work took up only a few pages in scientific journals, but changed forever our understanding of space, time, and the entire cosmos, and transformed the name Einstein into a synonym for genius. Actually, what he has done, it took a few pages to publish his work, but still he has changed our mind, our understanding, our thinking, our opinion according to his work. And what he has done so many experiment, and because of that only we have changed our understanding about the space, time, and so on. Okay, so 50 years, and because of his work only, now we are just calling him genius. Now we got synonym of what? Genius word, and we say genius, so we are talking about a person, Einstein. Not only Einstein, we can call what? Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And so many scientists are there, we can call them, they are genius. Okay, so 50 years after his death, Albert Einstein's genius is still risen. Means after his death means 50 years after, still he is there. Where? In our society, in our heart, means everywhere, because he has done something in a science era. Okay, now let's read the first paragraph. Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm, without any indication that he was destined for greatness. On the contrary, his mother thought Albert was a freak. To her, his head seemed much too large. And here, freak, this freak word, freak means a word used disapprovingly to talk about a person who is unusual and doesn't behave, look or think like others. So in this first paragraph, we are talking about that when he was born. He was born on 14th March 1879 in Ulm in Germany. Okay, in Ulm there is a city. This is a city's name, Ulm, and country Germany. So when he was born, so there was no any indication that he will become a popular person and that he will do something for the society, for the country. But after that, now we are remembering him. We are just reading about him, that what he has done in his life for science. And here, when he was born, so his mother thought about him that his son, means her son, is not like other son or other child, because she thought about that his head is too large according to her. Okay. So at the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking, means when he was 2.5 years. So actually he was not able to speak properly. So it happens with the child that somebody speak early and some child speak late. So just like that, he was also 2.5 years. When he was 2.5 years, so he was unable to speak properly. So when he finally did learn to speak, he uttered everything twice. Finally, actually before that, when he was 2.5 years old, so he was unable to speak properly. But when he learned to speak, so he spoke 2 times a word. Means a word means just like we say his name Albert, so we can call like that Albert, Albert 2 times repeated. Einstein did not know what to do with other children, and his playmates called him Brother Boring, so the youngster played by himself. Actually, you know what? Actually, he was just different from other children. So because of that, he didn't know that what to do with other children. So his playmates called him Brother Boring because he wasn't able to speak properly, and he was looking different from other children. So because of that, other classmates, means his classmates, called him what? Brother Boring. So the youngster played by himself, means youngsters played by himself. Much of time he especially loved mechanical toys. So youngsters, those who were youngsters, they always play with themselves only. Okay, so he especially loved mechanical toys. Looking at his newborn sister Maza, he is said to have said, "Fine, but where are her wheels?" Means when he was a child, in his childhood, he always used to play with what? Mechanical toys. Just like nowadays, means small kids like 2 or 3 years old, they always used to play with the remote car and so on. So he was very fond of to play with the mechanical toys. So when his younger sister was born, so he was very happy, but he said, okay, everything is fine, but where is wheels? Wheels, do you know about wheels? That he just thought about that it is a vehicle, but that is not vehicle. Means he was very fond of mechanical toys, so because of that only he asked about his sister, that where is wheels. So let's have some incident. It is given here. Yes, Otto Neubauer, the historian of ancient mathematics, told a story about the boy Einstein that he characterizes as a legend, but that seems fairly authentic. As he was a late talker, his parents were worried. At last, at the supper table one night, he broke his silence to say, "The soup is too hot." Greatly relieved, his parents asked why he had never said a word before. Albert replied, "Because up to now everything was in order." Actually, you know what happened? Means this incident took place when he and his parents, means family member, were taking what? Supper at night. So here means an ancient historian who belonged to mathematics. So he gave an example. He gave an example of his intelligence, what he has done. Means Otto Neusbauer, he told a story about that person, Albert Einstein, why he was called legend. Actually, this historian told him that he is a legend. Why he was a legend? Why he is a legend? He gave reason also. And what was the reason? That one night his family, they all were taking supper together. So at that time he spoke something. And what he spoke? He spoke that the soup is too hot. Every member of the family was surprised to know that he could speak also. But the reason, they wanted to know why he did not speak before. So he replied. Who replied? Albert Einstein. He replied that because up to now means everything was in order. So he did not try to speak anything. He did not understand to speak anything, means everything was in order. So why should he speak? So this was the incident that took place in ancient. So let's have a paragraph number 3. A headmaster once told his father that what Einstein chose as a profession wouldn't matter because he will never make a success at anything. Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to. He later became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining this skill throughout his life. Actually, once upon a time, headmaster of Albert Einstein, he just told to his father that, you know what, your son will not do anything in his life. According to me, means according to that headmaster, that he could not, means he won't do anything in his life. But it doesn't matter what he would choose. It doesn't matter, but he will never succeed in his life. So at this, Albert Einstein started to learning what? Violin. And when he was when he started to learn violin? When he was 6 years old. And why did he learn? Because his mother wanted that her son should learn how to play violin. Okay? So he started to learn, and throughout his life he maintained to learn violin, and he became a very good violinist. Okay? But Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. Pupil means student. He went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. Einstein hated the school's regimentation and often clashed with his teachers. At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled there that he left the school for good. Okay? So I think actually, Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. Why would we say that he was a bad pupil? No, we cannot say that. We cannot blame any student that all students are good. All have different qualities, different talents. So here, Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. He was good pupil, but when he was small, so he went to high school in Munich. where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old. 15 months means 1 year, 3 months. Means when he was very small, when he was very small means when he was 15 months old. So his family moved where? To Munich. And there he got admission in that school, Munich. And there he scored good marks in almost every subject. Means he was brilliant. So because of that he was scoring good marks in every subject. But Einstein hated the school's regimentation. Means he did not like the arrangement, the way of teaching. Means he hated. He did not like it. So, and often clashed with his teachers. Means he never agreed with the teachers. If he never agreed, so he always argued with the teachers that no, you are wrong here. This is not a way. Means every time he clashed, he always argued, he always discussed with the teachers. So when he was 15 years old, he felt stifled. Regimentation means order to discipline to take on any extreme. Means what? Discipline is good, but it was discipline taken an extreme. Extreme, it should not be an extreme. As he was brilliant, so he should get some freedom so that he could ask some questions to the teachers and he could learn something from them. Okay, so because of that he never feel bad, means he never felt good in that school. So because of that, when he was 15 years old, he left that school for betterment. For betterment, he left that school. The previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan and left their son with relatives. After prolonged discussion, Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German-speaking Switzerland, in a city which was more liberal than Munich. So, when he was 15 years old and there he was studying, so he was feeling suffocated, means like he could not breathe properly. So because of that, only he left that school for betterment. So the previous year, means his parents, Albert's parents, had moved to Milan. Means before that he moved when he was 15 months old. So his parents moved to Munich, but now from Munich they moved to Milan. But they left him where? To the relatives. Means Albert Einstein was living with the relatives. So after prolonged, means actually you know what, here he wanted, means Einstein wanted to get admission in German speaking Switzerland. So because of that only he was discussing with his parents. So after a very long discussion, he got this opportunity and he got admission there in German speaking Switzerland, and there in a city which was more liberal than Munich. Means if we compare to Munich, so it was better than Munich. So there Switzerland, he was better, means he was feeling better to learn each and everything. So because of that he was very happy. So till here, thank you so much dear friends. In next video I will explain next.